what's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Who else up in here? Oh, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking? What's cracking, man? I was going to answer the call, but I'm going to call back tomorrow. Hey, baby. Calling about this house with this lady I used to drive by, her dog. They all died. Her, the old man. So the house is up for sale, and it's right from where the mansion is and my overlook. So I'm going to see what she's talking about. So she called. I know she left some messages, so I'm going to hit her back. I got her number now, and see what they're talking. Because I mean, I pay $1,100 for this 2-bedroom, 2-floor. I forget the size. It's big. You know it's big, Rondo. So. My credit after 2 marriages should be a little better than what it was. I mean, I paid on everything. I mean, when you buy a car, when we give you Social Security and they check and you say, yeah, you sign it, the car's paid for. Then they give you to a third party who's a bank who robs you even more. You know that? That's why it's important to know how to I didn't do it because I don't care. Because it can help better your credit for those, unless you want to just go ahead and write 911, whatever, a 911A, whatever it's called, and have them, give a credit card for like $4,000 worth of gas and add on whatever you want, like an extra $10,000, $20,000. You could do that, but I didn't do it. I was going to, and they knew it. They were like, and I was like, but nah, I'm cool. The world is short. Everything is short, so. I was going to have Snoop call. It's a nice house. Two-door garage, a lot of yard. Really nice. It's Kathy Realtors. It says. Pretty good. We'll start here shortly. Hi, what's going on? We're going to start in about 3-4 minutes. So what's happening, beloved? 5, 7, 4, 17. Whew, I am stuffed. I don't want to eat no more. It's kind of late eating, right? I can't even finish what I got. And it's not a lot, y'all. I didn't even do my dumbbells today. I didn't even push the truck. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, the mourners were out there, and they was talking to my neighbor, Eric Snowden, right? And they was like, "Hey, would you mind?" I was like, "Don't even." And he my boy looked up and says, "Don't." What a boy's boy. Grab my toe. I got Mel. White House opens the new border expulsion law, mandatory detention, and increasing. Oh man, I don't hear about them fools, man. I don't know where I get that from. I think I got another book too. That's good enough. Let me turn the other light on. Oh, y'all can see me good, right? Okay. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? All right. Sorry I'm keeping y'all just a little too long. But, yeah. I was researching something. Lloyd shared something that was good. And so, you know, we correct each other. And I didn't have to correct him. He shared something. And there are a lot of stuff out there on the web. Where there's a lot of people, you know, teaching false history, and sometimes you don't want to hurt people's feelings. I lived with them, and I correct them at any chance I got, and there would be some older people who would be like, they wouldn't say nothing. And it's always good. Correction is always good. Not for him. I'm talking about the people who made the comment. I was just mind boggled for a minute, and but not always, you know what I mean? Like, hold on, let me pull this up. New. So I'm gonna show you the web page that I'm using. I'm using, so you can download it if you want, Brave. It's encrypted, and you can put safe search on and all that. I was in a PDF and I was reading something, and it's long because it's actually this way, and I finally got to go this way, so I had to scroll sideways, and I read kind of quick, and I just wanted to look for certain things. Like I stated, who's aware when the Navajo were given the land over here? You know it was in the 1900s, right? Okay, most people know about the Cabbage Patch and the orphans. Now, a lot of Siberians were brought here because they helped the Vatican as far as expulsion and fighting on a lot of different continents, whether it be the New China, the Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. They used them to fight everywhere, and their numbers dwindled, and they were a grand army, but they're not the same people they once were. A lot of them, you know, and there are those who are very dark, but you can also see the contrast of those who are very pale, very fair, just like with us and everybody else. So the Ket people are Yeniseian, speaking indigenous people of central Siberia who live in the Yenisei River Basin and in the mountains there. It's like, you know, up in the, and they were known as Ustayaks, all right, during the Russian Empire, and later as Yenisei Ustayaks, because they lived in the middle and lower basins of the Yenisei River and the Krasnoy. Good gracious, Krasnoyarsk Krai district of Russia. In the late 20th century, they numbered about 500, and their language, Ket, is the last true survivor of the Yenisei group spoken in the area. They were part of Tartary as well. And those were the ones that fled. And they brought them here as the children, have killed a lot of their men. You know, they slept with everybody they conquered. And they taught them a false doctrine because the destruction of Tartary started right during the Crimean War. And I used to share that, and they used to sit around listening like, who is this? How many people, you know, was teaching that history? You see, I don't want to argue with anybody. And if they don't want to accept and they just want to stay where they're at, fine. But you're not going to come across my people and spew a whole lot of rhetoric and type a whole lot of stuff because you want to fulfill the narrative of your replacement. And that's what I tell a lot of pals here. And y'all need to learn to do the same thing. So the information's all there. Oh, good gracious. Brave. I don't have it on my screen. All the information is there. And then there's many different platforms I utilize. Okay? Google or Chrome, well, they're going to use that against you. I fill it up with all kind of craziness because, ooh, you know what I mean? Ooh. Keep their heads, you know what I mean? But anyway, go ahead. They probably got a way to look at that and the hackers and everything, but you can further deeper encrypt it by paying for the premium like I did. And then there's other things that you can use. Surfshark, don't go to that, but there are other things that bounce it all the way around, and it'll take a good while before it comes back. But by that time, you can erase it, clear off your history, especially those who don't want to safe search. You know who you are. All right, on Google, if I want to download a little freaky picture, you know, to send off or something, I'll just go to Google and there it is. There you go. I don't care. Okay, and there's a lot more information. If you want to see images, you just tap on just like any other platform, and I'll show you exactly what I'm speaking upon as far as excuse me. I don't want downloading a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna download a few things. And some of you may have seen this stuff, but it's just the reality. And most people have a hard time when you start showing them the locale and their truth, to which they are kind of despondent about, because they wonder where did that history goes, and who wouldn't be hurt by that. I never want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to change direction, but these are the cat people in Siberia. Plenty more pictures. Okay. All right, so let's get to a little reading. I was gonna read because I'm gassy, like up here gassy, like burping, and you know. Let me get rid of my. I gotta stop tobacco. I do them both, tobacco, and then there's days when I don't want to do tobacco. I'm like, and so I get my little pouch, which is pretty freaking strong, and I'd be like holding on the walls, like when I take it, because instead of getting 3, I got 6 by accident, and it's nicotine. Like, I'll be like this for about 20 minutes. And then I go, okay, I'm used to it now. Breathe, move. Okay, let me stop. All right, let me, it's kind of dark. Let's open this, see what book we got here. What is this in books to you like that? It must be a very small book. I wonder which one this is. It's supposed to have 2 more show up tomorrow. Oh! I knew it was a small book. I didn't know it was this one. Because I got a couple of big books coming too. Quite a few big books. Okay, let me see here. Oh, this is my Batman knife. Check my ass out. This is my Batman knife. I got like three of these things. I like it. It's so cool. I've been practicing trying to learn how to throw this thing, and it's not balanced. It's not the greatest balance. That goes right with Arthur Koestler and all the 6 books I have. I'm not gonna read that no time soon, unless I go through it tonight when I'm finishing reading. When I finish up reading my Demon Out, because I was reading this before I set up the live. I was reading this some more. I'm doing my best not to bend the pages, but you know me. You know, you know what it's like when you're trying to read later. I'm laying up in the bed, right? Got spectacles. Okay. Go easy. Because I'm just like, I'm manhandling them books. You know what I'm saying? What? And there's some ones that go in succession to this book too. So I haven't put them. I didn't add them because hell, we ain't even, you know. So anyway, let me go ahead and get the reading going. So it says, I think tomorrow. Well, you know, I think the 17th and the 18th, or the 18th. Well, I guess it'll be in the box, because the guy said he'll put it in the box and remind people who's the one working at night. Please put it in the box if it comes in after 4. So Mr. Branch, if he comes by it, because sometimes he comes at night, and everybody knows that when I walk in, he must got a book. I'm serious. Like everybody, all 3 people working on the thing, the guy behind the door, the people out front putting stuff in the box. I think you got some books back there, Mr. Branch. I am serious, and it's just a wonderful, beautiful thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into. We're gonna hold off on Behold Pearl Horse because I meant to come on when I was walking. So we're gonna get Hidden Lands Beyond Antarctica, and then go Exposing the Expeditions and Heaven Bearers. I'm wondering if I need to turn that light on. I hope it doesn't. If I turn that light on, it shouldn't obscure this. I should probably break out the old ring light, put the old ring light and put it up. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get in the hidden lands beyond Antarctica. The continuation of Morse's journey between interconnected planets, and you know planets don't mean outer space, but an outer space, all right? By Noscon Fandom, Claudio Naselli. And there are millions and millions and millions and millions of people, hell, billions, who will realize the Earth ain't no spinning ball, it's flat, and all the lies are coming crumbling down. So they gotta eradicate that, and they gotta have a new group of individuals to subjugate and make them believe otherwise. And don't worry, your people were orthodox to this place, and they want to eradicate you so they can go on in their perversion. Believe me, they're not alone in this world, and that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, we're on chapter 31 from Butler's Eyes. Okay, so let me go ahead and lower this. My stomach is let's bring this a little closer. I got my brown moccasins. Just took them off, and my feet feel so good. Let's bring this a little closer and bring it a little lower. Okay, good walk today. I hope you guys went out and got your sun and walks or whatever. Appreciate you coming in. Who else came in? Infinite Earth, baby. You know that's right. We got Trauma. Who else? Okay, you guys. It's good to see It's good to see people speak, you know, and greet each other. I love that. I think that is magnificent. Okay, this is a short one. It's not too long. All right, this is chapter 31 from Butler's Eyes. Excuse me, I am stuffed. Well, I had a smoothie and half of a vegan sandwich. And I need to get away from eating even the grain bread. Grains ain't really all that good for you, but has sunflowers and chickpea, semolina, flax. So those things are beneficial, and they're pretty raw to be baked. It has also in it sunflower seeds. Men don't eat them because they raise your estrogen, right? Sunflower seeds are more or less for women, but you can have a few. It's not going to kill you, all right? So, no oats. Here we go. The flight plan was correct. I'm going to turn this off. I like the background music, but not all the time. I'm going to read. Okay, here we go. The flight plan was correct. The speed and altitude were the right ones. Everything was green light inside. But the alarms would soon turn on, and two ships began to follow us as we crossed the well-known Drake Passage. Admiral Drake. The great concern now was clearly to be able to leave behind these ships that were chasing us. Once confirmed that they were custodian maneuvers where it should be a comma. Let me show you so you can see. Once they were custodians, it should be a comma there, because it's not a follow-on. It's a follow-on, but not continuous, okay? So anyway, once confirmed that they were custodian, comma, maneuvers were initiated to move away from them. But everything was in vain. I was in permanent contact with Lanier from my ship. Our great and experienced pilot assured that these ships could never cross the first dome. I asked him several times to confirm. Lanier was even approaching the ships in a very risky way to reach a final determination. And the verdict was sentenced. Never those custodian ships pilot, I don't know if that's the word supposed to be there, but it says never those custodian ships piloted, surely by military, it must be another word, of the new humanity could cross the first dome, comma, how the custodians could deliver technology of this type to a confused humanity. It was a sign of total desperation not to lose their colony. Grammatical errors in a lot of these, y'all. As Lanier stated, our ships were heading straight for the ice walls, and over the plateau, we increased speed to maximum again. Precision would be essential. The dome was meters away, and I looked at Lanier's big ship, and he gave me the order to get behind it so I can enter the passage following it. The two pursuing ships, knowing the situation, moved away from us, as our great pilot had stated. One turned to the right, and another would turn to the left. The great concern was dissipating, and it was time to cross the first dome. Lanier was ahead, and I always had my point fixed on him. From one second to another, as these tragedies happened in flight and at a similar speed, Lanier's ship crashed in front of us. I did not even have time to process it. My partner, in the middle of absolute desperation, and where a second can annihilate you completely, took control, reduced the speed, and put the front of the ship in the direction of the sky. I felt fire in my shoulder and right leg, but the deep pain was nothing of what was happening in my body. But that which I did not want to assimilate, that which I feared, since we crossed the same passage when we entered. William Morris had died and took with him a great part of all of us. He had a massive heart attack, coronary. No, he died in the first aircraft, excuse me. Our ship had miraculously overcome the invisible wall imposed by the custodians since we crossed the passage, and they detected our route. The agent that I will call Anthony, so as not to reveal his identity, had been the hero who saved my life. This is Butler. The first thing I tried to do after crossing this passage was to return, but Anthony kept repeating over and over again that there was nothing to do and that they had undoubtedly led us into this ambush. So, Mr. Morris passed away. Completely obliterated. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into the new Tartary next. I'm going to go into the next book. I wanted to keep this a long read tonight. Yeah. Man, I really like Mr. William Morris. I really, really enjoy the story of that individual. His daughter, Helen, was she's saying it as far as what was stated by Butler. Because you got to remember, Mr. Morris is from here. Butler was from there, of the new, I guess the ones who got away, I guess in the 5th or 6th, or the 6th reset, okay? The Great War and the mud floods and all that, which major weapons were used that were unearthed and utilized like a behind the door event to cause Tartary to fall. All right, let's go ahead and get into Exposing the Expositions 1851 to 1950, the revised 2020 rendition to his 2019 by Howdy Mikowski. Chicago, okay, the Court of Honor. All right, that's the picture you see there. You can Google that. They have absolute, wonderful, magnificent, beautiful pictures. And then when you think about the pictures taken afar, it should really make you think about some of those old West pictures they took, the old bogies. Okay. So when we last left over here, we were in chapter 2, Warfare Origins. The first step in liquidating a people, remember I read this to you, I'm going to read it again. The first step in liquidating a people is to erase its memory, their memory. Destroy their books, their culture, their history. Hello, Negro. I'm not being sly when I say that. Then have somebody write new books, manufacture a new culture, invent a new history. Before long, that nation will begin to forget what it is and what it was. The world around it will forget even faster. That's my Milan Kundera, the Book of Laughter and Forgetting. I actually looked the book up. I put it in there. I didn't order it. I just added it and saved. So it's not even added in the multiplication of monetary fiat, okay? So that's the mechanical building, the picture I showed y'all a few days ago. And this is 1893 in Chicago. See that right there, them people? Welcome. That's way back there, okay? That is, yeah. World's expositions are now sanctioned by the Bureau International des Expositions. That's the BIE in Paris, okay? Their website has a listing of all major world expos, as well as a few photos of many of them. But to really examine them, one must expand the research and investigation. The StudyLove site of John Paul Sanks, studylove.org/World's Fairs. I want y'all to write this down for those who have a pen or type it in, okay? Again, remember I said I was going to share some of these with you, okay? And I'm going to go slow. So go ahead and get a pen or type it where you're at, okay? STUDY. I'm not going to go through that S for sex or Sam and T for Tom and top and all that. No. STUDYLOVE, one word, studylove.org/. I need about 100 more of those to happen. Excuse me. /World's Fairs. Okay? So that's, again, studylove.org/World's Fairs. Incredible stuff. And I'm going to share some more with you, okay? Hey, Big Pontiac, Big Dog Philly OG, Lloyd, what's going on, beloveds? What's happening? What's happening? Appreciate to see y'all in here. Let's go ahead and carry on. I hope you all have that. Is a great source for finding much out there available on these events, with links to original photographs, people, articles and books, and this plethora. I have plenty of books on Tartary and giants and all that, but a little at a time. Okay. An interesting source for Chicago I have come across is the Book of the Fair. The Book of the Fair. All right, by Hubbard Howe Bancroft. Remember that name, Hubbard Howe Bancroft. Okay, but look up the Book of the Fair. I have it, but anyway, it is 1,500 pages of information and was published in 1895, 2 years after the establishment of BIE in Paris. Okay, just after the exposition concluded to provide the message of the times. Now, I will examine Bancroft later, for he is as much a part of the writing as the writing itself, okay? Like the writing on the wall. Each of the major expositions had their own historian. These people are well-groomed in rewriting history. Excuse me. Hey, Papa, I'm going to turn the lights on. Historian to write a massive document of not just of the event itself, but the entire world history leading up to it. As in the Kundera quote above, it is almost as if these historical books are not so much presenting history, but presenting the history that those in command want everyone to believe. Bancroft begins his book with a long examination of commerce and trade in Egypt, but specifically Phoenicia, and claims that, because they want you to believe they're Phoenicians, and claims these gatherings were always held as sacred places, which he emphasizes, and of how the ancient Greeks held adjoining fairs for the Olympics and at Delphi. And we now know that to be a major lie. Okay? When it comes to fairs thousands of years in the past, he describes, in the majority of instances, the ancient fairs were established in connection with religious festivals, lies. Okay, and hence were held within it or near some place of worship, because they're indoctrinating people into religious ideologies to look outside themselves. All right, or on some sacred spot, as around the shrine or of a martyr, or the tomb of a saint. So they have to indoctrinate. They got to make something bigger than the people, so the people won't see themselves so big. The belittling always has to start first. It's like boot camp. Break them down, tear them down, and build them up how you are structured, how you want them structured. But presently, a certain business was transacted in provisions, the demand for which increased with the influx of worshippers. Then came the idea of profiting by this traffic, followed by the attendance of merchants who offered for sale a variety of wares. I mean, if you establish this and realize that you can control the world by monetary and put yourself as the overseer, and who has the funds, the major fiat, to manipulate and maneuver to castrate the society or the people? Okay? Think about it. In 1893, the organizers wanted to lay claim that the current exhibitions were somehow direct descendants of the ancient world. The underlying message being presented was that ancient fairs were held at sacred spots. So should the place that the expositions occurred in Philadelphia, New York, and Chicago, or Paris be thought of as sacred spots. Not because a fair took place there, but because they were already sacred somehow prior, and that is why the fair was placed there. Basic history claims that what became the modern great fairs evolved from local English and French fairs of the 1700s, which were a sort of combined business exhibit and public entertainment for the local area. Now, Bancroft's look at French fairs are very telling. For after mentioning the fairs at Lyons and St. Denis, you need to look at those pictures of those grand buildings. Granted, all right, to the monks by Dagobert. Granted to the monks. He then mentions two locations, Champagne and Troy. Made up two fictional places in direct to go against what was here. These are the two French sites that are most connected with the stories of the Holy Grail and with the Knights Templar, whose character came at Troy. This doesn't say nothing about Greece, people. Pay attention. This is an interesting thing to consider. The early French fairs are linked with the two most mysterious concepts of the last 1,000 years. Did you hear that? Are you paying attention? While the first large fair happened at the end of the 1700s in Prague, it was an exhibition the next year, 1798, in Paris, that was special. Okay, 1798 is about correct. But that narrative painted at 1,000 years, 9, okay, or 798. Paris, that was special. Current history still claims that the first world-sanctioned fair happened in England in 1851. And we read that earlier. As mentioned, but this is untrue. The first one worthy of the name, though lasting but for 3 days with only 110 exhibitors, was the Temple of Industry erected by Napoleon in 1798 in the Champs de Mars. Now, we all know that Napoleon was really a Negro, or melanated. And what was his name? Napoleon was at the forefront of these early fairs. He was off capturing Egypt at the time, or part of the collusion of rewriting history, maybe creating one, and kept them going once he became emperor. That they came just 10 years after the start of the French Revolution. Isn't that something? And you know what the French Revolution was about? Getting rid of the original people. It's funny how they don't really tell you all the beheadings of those thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. May reveal a hidden reasoning for these original fairs. The time after the Revolution had giant festivals such as the Festival of Law, 1792, or the Festival of the Supreme Being in 1794, and there was a need to revise the history of France to suit its purpose. Look into it. Who remembers the last beheadings? 2 of them were captured on video. Well, 8mm. One from somebody's house, and then the other one was a so-called Jewish Niger, or a Jewish, well, pretty dark, you know, Jewish individual who was said to be a murderer. I'm going to show you this picture of 1851 London. And it's the London Crystal Palace in 1851. Now, we all had crystal palaces. Australia, here, so-called Paris, England, Germany, Russia, all destroyed. Okay? 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 Let me see if it's down here. Was it on this page? It's probably going to be on the next one. But you can look at the Great Exhibition of the Works of Industry of All Nations, okay? Or the Great Exhibition. Just Google that, okay? Gas. I got to turn these lights on right quick too, y'all. Take about a second. Well, a minute. I see you, man. Don't let me step on you. Oh. gluteus maximus is sore. Oh, the gluteus maximus is sore. Oh, yeah. The gluteus maximus is definitely sore. My butt cheeks is sore like a mother. Whoo, child. Wow, burp coming up the stairs. Oh, man. Anyway. Whew. Okay. Let's get into Heaven Bearers. The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. Okay. There she is in South Africa. I probably shouldn't be drinking lemon and lime water, coconut water. Okay, let's get to it. All right. The Heaven Bearers couldn't understand how this Tartarian technology worked, so they destroyed most of it after they had arrived and started to work on plans to create their own. Sound familiar? Until they realized those of us who actually knew how the things work, and they utilized us as we kept creating and stole them away with their fake patents and so on. Makes sense, doesn't it? Malcolm comes home just after the sun sets, and he is sorry. At least he thinks he is. He is starting to feel emotions, and he doesn't understand why. It makes him feel weak. And being a Phoenician, he has to try very hard to brush these thoughts and feelings away. He calls for Bonnie while he takes off his coat, but there is no answer. Bonnie, he calls again, and his voice is harsh. I haven't seen her all day. Mr. Harrington. So Jane appears from the kitchen while he says, I haven't seen her all day, Mr. Harrington, but I didn't want to say it like that. Jane appears from the kitchen with a red and white tablecloth in her hands, and she has a look of worry on her face. She went for a walk outside in the garden, and she just didn't come back. I asked her to stay away from Henry, but I'm not sure. She isn't with Henry. I was with him most of the day. He snaps and interrupts her blatantly. Then perhaps she pauses and has a revelation. I think she went down to the underneath part of the mansion then. Malcolm walks around to the back of the mansion, and the window is boarded up tight and nailed in, exactly as he instructed Henry to do. He can smell she was here earlier in the day, and he allows his senses to go into overdrive. He closes his eyes and focuses hard. He can smell fear and blood. He can smell her blood. Jane, go back inside and get supper ready. His voice is calm and relaxed. He pulls away the wooden board with ease, and the nails used to hold it into place are no match for him. He climbs inside and sees her lying in the corner of the room. Her blonde hair and her head are bloody, but the blood isn't fresh, and this pleases him. He looks around the room and notices the portrait lying on the floor and the metal pole with the blue stones leaning up against the wall, and a shock of electricity rushes over him. He knows what this metal pole is, and it is definitely not any ordinary metal pole. He takes the metal pole, picks her up, and carries her into the house. I will come back for the portrait, he tells himself. Jane, fetch me some warm water and a cloth now, he shouts as he enters the mansion. There is a sudden urgency in his voice, but it is gentle, and she drops what she is doing and rushes over to help him. She cries out at the sight of Bonnie. Her lips are light shade of blue, and her neck has bruising on it. She is fine, Jane. I can hear her heartbeat. In fact, I can hear all 3 heartbeats. They are faint, but they are there. What can I do? She asks and places her hand on his shoulder. Fetch me a blanket. She is ice cold and we need to warm her up. Start a fire in the sitting room when you are finished. Jane rushes off to do as she is asked, and when she comes back, he dips the linen cloth into the warm water and he cleans the blood off of Bonnie's face and her hair as best he can. As he slowly removes the blood from the side of her head, he notices the wound is already healing itself, and he stops breathing for a split second. He blinks hard and takes another good look at what he is seeing. Tartarians don't have the ability to heal themselves. He thinks to himself, no, it cannot be. He takes a closer look, and the wound looks a few days old already, and his left hand starts to tremble slightly. He finishes cleaning her up and then carries her to the sitting room and sits with her in front of the fireplace, using the fire and his body, heat to warm her up. Hey, Papa. Al, what you doing? Don't attack my shoe because it's close to your water. He wonders what happened to her, and more importantly, wonders why she is healing herself at such a fast pace. He can smell a scent, a man on her, but he doesn't know this person and knows that he is definitely not from around here. We can start chapter 9. She feels warm and can feel the bright yellow sunlight on her face. She is sitting in a field with thousands of purple and white flowers, and she picks one, just to make sure they are real. Daphne, come over here, sweetheart. She looks around, but there is no one else there, and she picks another purple flower. Daphne, I said, come over here. The voice is sweet and flows away gently in the wind. Bonnie looks around her again and sees a woman with bright blue eyes and a big smile, signaling for her to come and join her. It is her. It is her mother. She is young and beautiful, her golden wavy hair blowing in the wind, and the white dress she is wearing accentuates her petite structure. Bonnie takes a deep breath and runs with wobbly and clumsy legs as fast as she can with her arms stretched out in front of her. There you are, sweetheart. She picks her up and kisses her all over her face, and she realizes she is small, only a baby. This is a memory of when she was a baby, and her heart sinks in her chest. She is suddenly standing there as a grown-up Bonnie, and she watches her mother swing her younger self around in her arms. The flowers in the field stretches for miles, and her gaze moves towards a man playing with another little girl. She is older than her, maybe 3 or 4 years old. Cassidy, come and join us, she calls out, and she comes running towards her. The man follows with a smile on his face, and she knows him too. It is them. It is her family. She reaches out her hand to touch them, but she can't get close enough. She opens her mouth to call out to them, but she makes no sound. You know that running, but you're not going nowhere? Symposium of drastic measures of dreams. You can't edit or recreate dreams, Bonnie. Just enjoy them as they are, says a soft and young voice, and she realizes it is her talking to herself. She can hear another voice suddenly, but it isn't hers. It is from a man. She looks over at her father, but he is laughing and spinning Cassidy around. The voice is not his. Bonnie, darling, wake up. The voice is familiar, and it gets louder and louder. Her face feels very warm suddenly, and she opens her eyes. He is staring back at her with those intense green eyes. There is a sparkle in them, and for the first time, she can feel her heart melt away by the mere sight of him. I'm in love with you, she blurts out and locks eyes with him. He feels her face and is confused by what she has just said. It is me, Malcolm. You were dreaming. But now, this is real life, Bonnie. She sits up and smiles at him. I know, silly. She grabs hold of him and gives him an intimate, deep kiss. I got to see them for a while, my family. I had a sister named Cassidy. She was older than me, and she was beautiful, too. We were all so very happy. She looks around the room, and her expression changes with a realization that hits her. Why? She asks and kisses him again and then pulls away. Why what? He asks. Malcolm does. Genuinely confused by her behavior. Why did the heaven bearers decide to conquer and destroy us? Everything was so beautiful back then. People were happy. They chose to cause chaos and destroy everything that was pure and good. I just can't understand why. He sighs and brushes a single strand of hair away from her face. Can we talk about it later or another day? I would prefer it if you would just rest for now. And we're going to stop right there. I can keep reading this, believe me. Oh yeah, that was good. There we go. And that was good. You like how that was put together, right? All right. That's another book. That's another book I have that I was going to show y'all, but I'll show y'all some other time. I'm going to have y'all confused with all the books that I have this evening, the ones that I didn't show you. I'm going to read some more of the Gospel of the 12 tonight. So, who's all up in here? Marcus Williams, what's going on? Sidonelli, what's happening, beloved? Let me scroll down. Excuse me. Oh, you pulled it up. Big Pontiac, what's going on? I got you all right, Big Dog Philly. I hope y'all enjoyed that reading. And thank you, hon. Well, I'm pulling it up. Napoleon Bonaparte was born Alessio Costico on 15 August 1769. He was the second of 8 children born to Carlo, a lawyer descended from Tucson nobility, and his young wife. Tucson, Arizona? I'm just saying. Napoleon means lion. Lions were in the old world. American Athloctonus. You damn right. Saber-tooth. They were bigger than the lions over there. Napoleon was a nagger. You damn right. You already know, Nietzsche. I hope y'all enjoyed that read. I really do. And if you donated, I'll see it. I turned off all the notifications, so I don't know, and I appreciate it. The readings, I'm going to read it tomorrow, but we are in the morning because I have to. I went a little farther ahead. We're going to read Behold the Pale Horse. It's not to rattle anybody or anybody. You know, you're stronger than that, okay? Yeah, I'm going to read before, after I ground, take a cold bath or shower or whatever, and then I'm going to go for my walk. I'll do it after my walk. And then I'm going to go for my walk. So I'm going to read and go for my walk. I'm going to get everything I need to get done, and then we're going to set up, and around 2:30, 3 o'clock, we'll get the next read in, okay? Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to this old fogey read and share some things, even listen to my opinion about the Ket people and Siberia, and the information is there for the world to see. Most people don't want to accept the reality of the truth because it's easier to be steeped in living a lie, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you guys taking the time with me all gassed up. Yeah, man. It was that green drink, bruh. It was strong. Because you know that moringa, man. It can make it. And worst thing, don't ever take copper with moringa. All right? Because it makes your stomach sour. And if your stomach, you know, I had Rise coffee, right? When we came on this AM, right? And I added a little maple syrup. And I don't like sugar, but this is real maple syrup. And I added like a tablespoon. And I'm just going to stick to the Rise coffee without the sweetener. I need to get away from that because it's like Chips Ahoy cookies and Oreos and all that. They put chemicals in there to make you addicted to them. Now, I don't eat the crap. I just stop, you know. And people say, well, why don't you stop chewing tobacco? Because I like it. There's a difference. I've been chewing tobacco for over 40 years, y'all. 40 years. Icons are pink and good and everything. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, and I also have non-tobacco, non-nicotine, and I have nicotine, whatever I want nicotine, because it make me like that. Now, it's not good for blood pressure and your heart palpitations and all that stuff, but I be like, I get that chewing, I be like, I don't want nobody talking to me. I just want to enjoy it because I'm not smoking. I don't want no THC right now. When Rondo come up, he better come with some good shit and not no bullshit. Excuse my language, because I ain't cursed all this time, but I ain't cursing this bull excrement. All right, don't come up with some old funny, dirty stuff. or I come up and we can make a trip to Flagstaff, look at the pawn shop, some of the people I know over there, the gun stores and everything they have there, the prices on the ammo and everything. And if come, hey man, we get in the truck, we all go, get a good time to drive the truck, see how the new some of the new things on it running, and have a good time. Everybody strapped it on. What people don't know is Arizona is an ID state, but they have to articulate a crime. If there's no crime, you don't have to show a damn thing. It's not, it's an ID state, so I stop and ID you. That's why it's important to know the law. But there's a lot of good guys like military, and some of them are steep here. I don't know, Phoenix got some messed up stuff. So whenever there's messed up stuff, you're going to have some bad seeds. It just happens. Not all cops are bad. Trust me, they're not. All right? But, come on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a good... That's right. Let's go to Flagstaff. You already know, fam. So, yeah, you get up here early enough, we be heading out. Donate, guys. Let's attempt to get these books this Friday, please. So Friday and Saturday, I can order the books, get it done, and it's good. You dig what I'm saying? Order the books. It's a wrap. Bada boom, bada bang. I know around them here, because I'm going to take all these books downstairs, so I'm going to start reading downstairs. It's just that the EMF down there is like 78, 75. It's like, well, it's not all the time. It goes down to 60 and stuff like that, which is the safe zone. Actually, none of it's safe. Up here, it's in the 60s now. So it's like, I just read downstairs. You know, I mean, there's times when I'm reading downstairs, I go to sleep downstairs, I wake up and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just passed through Flagstaff. I'm in New Mexico, Albuquerque now. Whoa! Yeah, y'all know. My boys out there, our brothers out there doing the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have the smoke shop. Ronnie, come on up. We going to smoke. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can get it over there. Because I don't trust everything in Phoenix. I bought some smoke down there when I got my little ID down there for the little. I didn't have to pay $300, y'all. I had to pay half, $150. Anyway, better, 100%. Over there, I bought some so-called OG Kush, some. That shit was crap. I was like, somebody putting their own homegrown crap. Because here we can grow up to 6 plants. I can grow up 6 plants in here if I wanted to. Just don't feel like right now. But that was crap. I'm like, people down there smoking weed, what they getting high off of? Man, we got some good stuff over here, bro. We got some stuff that had you like. Yeah, don't even talk to me right now. Just, let me meditate. Let me get my Reiki on. Get my Medusa Kama Sutra on. You know what I'm saying? You must have passed me. Oh, you on Dragon? Okay. Anyway, appreciate y'all. I'm gonna take all this Long John snacky off right here. I don't wear the bottoms. Take this off and kick back and read until I pass out. All right. So again, I appreciate y'all coming up in here, taking the time listening to old folks. Share it. Appreciate it. Don't forget our brother, Fear None. All right. So y'all haven't subscribed to his channel. Made me smack you upside the head. I shared it. I shared some of his stuff. Subscribe to the brother, man. All right. All right. Appreciate it. You know, he's out in the Caribs. He was in the Army for 4 years here. He lived in America for a long, long time. He went to the islands. He's off grid. He's got his land and stuff. So, come on, y'all. Pay attention and listen to those who are attempting to make the best of a difference. All right? Because it's important, man. We are who we are and who we have. Okay? Y'all know the signal. Beloved sisters, remember? My brothers, sisters. See y'all in the air.